Hello, everyone. Another session here today, and we just finished a great session with Christopher about generative AI, and now we're gonna have the pleasure to watch Nagarajan. It's a great session, and for me, chatbots. It can, it's a summarize about everything we've been talking about AI. So yeah, let me introduce Nagarajan. Nagarajan Madhavan. He's an experienced lead engineer based in Fremont, California, with a strong background in mobile app experiences, app performance, and reliability improvement, chat app development, and mentoring engineering teams. He has worked with top technology companies such as Meta, Apple, and Symantec. Currently, he is a senior staff engineer at Intuit, leading AI-driven mobile app experiences. So nice to have you here. Let me transition to your video.
Hi there, welcome to the session. This is Nagarajan Madhavan. Today I'm going to talk about revolutionizing marketing automation with AI driven chatbots. About me, I'm working for Intuit now. I've been shaping the next generation of AI powered mobile experiences. Before Intuit, I was working for Meta, Apple, and I have worked on multiple mobile apps, and I have been contributing to the mobile platform development and infrastructure. I've worked on both functional and non-functional aspects of the app, and the kind of apps that interest me are chat apps, the potential of the chat apps, and how it's evolving with machine learning and generative AI. And I have worked on both chat based apps and chatbots. So today I'm here to share some of my experiences and learnings. And here's my agenda. After introduction on AI-driven chatbots, we'll be going over few example chat interactions with the customer and understand how the AI-driven chatbot works. And then we also discuss about streamlining the marketing operations, driving sales and conversions, and the available out-of-box solutions in the market. And finally, we'll go over the AI chatbot architecture and the emerging trends and conclude the session. Companies often rely too heavily on landing page experiences, either it's a web page or a mobile app, and and over social media targeted ads for generating leads. And now we have another avenue for engaging the customer through the AI-driven chatbots. It can work 24/7 and it can automate the responses, it can help streamline the operations and drive sales. And by 2025, 85% of customer interactions will be managed without human agents. This is from Gartner. Chatbots are not new. Chatbots are existing for a longer period of time now. So AI-driven chatbots are different in a way where it is much smarter and it can do a wide range of operations. And technology-wise, it has natural language processing, ability to process the human language, and uses the machine learning models or LLMs, and it can perform data analytics and sentiment analysis. It can understand the context, interpret and user's intent, extract the entities out of it, provide personalized responses, and make interactions more meaningful and efficient. So, what is enhancing customer engagement? Making these interactions with a chatbot more personalized, make it more relevant, It's not just knowing their names, it's just knowing their past purchase history, past interactions, the sentiment involved, putting all this together and providing a more engaging response to the customer. And also giving proactive engagement. So each and every business has a flow, right? So if it's retail, if it's a retail app, then there is something like browsing and then adding to the cart and then paying for that and then exiting, right? So driving this flow proactively and then based on the cues, try to understand what the user wants and then drive the conversion. That's contextual engagement. So these things are possible with the AI-driven chatbot. Okay, now let's start with a sample interaction between a chatbot and the new customer who is visiting a website. The channel can be a website or a web mobile app, or it can be a WhatsApp or anything, right? So since it's a new customer, it's using the word hi there instead of the name of the customer, and next time it will replace that with the name of the customer. And it's welcoming the customer, and the customer is expressing an intent, wants to look for some addresses. Now here the chatbot is smart enough to understand what the customer mean by some addresses. There could be a product catalog already available with the title some addresses, or it may not be. So based on the product description, the chatbot is able to pick a bunch of products which is matching the customer's description. And the second sentence is about like what is next, right? It's asking for a specific style or color in mind and driving this conversation to the next, giving a choice for the user to make, and here user is expressing a specific choice. And based on the user's choices, chatbot has identified a specific line of products, and the user requests to see the pictures, and the chatbot is listing 3 products to the user. And now the user is picking a specific color. Now the product can be identified with different attributes, and now the chatbot is able to connect with the user's description and connects up with the corresponding product and is able to proceed forward. If it finds it ambiguous, say for example here the user is saying the blue shirt, there is a light blue and a dark blue, then it has to confirm that with the user and then move forward to the next level. And now the user is now it likes to ask the user about the size of the shirt that needs to be picked up, and it actually gives this link to the size guide. So here if you look at it, it's a link. So this link can take the user, go out of the chatbot and check the details there, get the information, and then come back to the chatbot and then confirm the size, and then it adds that to the cart, and the flow is complete. Now let's look at a few more examples. The same customer returns again, and this time the chatbot engages with the name of the customer, and it's actually promoting based on the previous purchase history. So it's now promoting summer dresses, but if the season is winter, then it would use an appropriate product line to promote. And it can also do a proactive engagement. So the bot notices there is an item added to the cart and it's not complete. Now it's adding a promotion to complete the purchase and take it forward. So contextual engagement is also possible. So the user is spending a significant amount of time browsing through a specific product page or using a specific search term, but is not able to complete the purchase. So now the chatbot can, based on the context, it can engage the customer to help them navigate through this product products and help them make the right choices. So feedback and surveys are important for the business to grow. So chatbots can be very helpful here. It can do an automated check with the customer to know about their experience, product purchase experience, and have a customized list of questions, not having a static list of questions that goes out to all the customers. Now, based on response to each and every question and based on the product, it can vary that and can have an engaging response received from the customer, thereby the quality of feedback is rich. Resolve customer support. Right now the customer is reaching out for support, and the chatbot knows the history of the purchase, and it understands which product the customer is referring to and can get maximum information from the customer before passing it on to a human agent who can help resolve the issue. Can also help track the order status. Event reminders. This is for services like some customer is booking for a show, and then they want to make sure there is less cancellations, so the chatbot can take care of sending frequent appropriate reminders to make sure the customer shows up and the business is fulfilled. The same for health and fitness. So now it can connect the health and fitness with the dietary preferences, and the dietary preferences can be a different line of products that can be promoted along with the health and fitness offerings. Streamlining operations through AI chatbot. Now, the quality of data we receive from the AI chatbots are much richer, so that helps us to segment the incoming responses and qualify the leads so that the quality leads are passed to the sales team, improving the efficiency and conversion rates. Automated support, which we already saw in one of the sample chat interaction. So customer queries can be handled by the chatbots, freeing up the human agents to focus on more complex issues. It reduces the response time and operational cost while maintaining high levels of customer service. Streamlining operations, the data collection analysis. Chatbots can collect valuable data from user interactions, which can be analyzed to gain insights into the customer preferences and behaviors. This can inform the marketing strategies and help businesses make data-driven decisions. Driving sales and conversions. The chatbots has the user's preferences, past purchase history, the current context, which is increasing the likelihood of conversions, and also improves cross-selling, upselling capability, and can boost average order sales and order values and sales. Chatbot based on the implementation can offer a seamless transaction. So the customer should be able to start the conversation with the chatbot and can complete the purchase within the chatbot without exiting the interface. That's very high levels of integration with the existing infrastructure. Otherwise, there can also be providing links within the chatbot, so the user can exit the interface and then get back to the chat and continue the conversation. Let's look into the out-of-box chat, AI-driven chat bot solutions that's available out there. I have listed some of them, and these chatbots are very good in supporting wide variety of channels. Like it's supported over WhatsApp, Instagram, or through a web interface. It's easy to extend in multiple channels, and and it's also quick to configure, easy to install. However, for having very customized solutions, very tight integration with the existing, with the current business, and with the current infra, and then making quick changes to adapt to changing business needs, we have to develop custom solutions, and we will go over that architecture and essential components of a custom AI chatbot. So this is a 10,000 feet view of AI chatbot architecture. So we have on the left hand side, the customer is engaging the chatbot, and the chatbot is actually understanding, extracting the entities and intent from the interaction. There's a natural language understanding component, and the key thing it does is to extract the intent and entities, and based on that entities and intent, it makes the corresponding API calls with the existing infrastructure to get data from the database, and then it decides on the next set of action, and that action is converted to a natural language message response through the message generator, and is sent back to the chat app. Here we look at the detailed architecture, the key components in the AI chatbot architecture. The chatbot architecture has multiple layers. The UI layer or user interaction layer can be, we can also call it channels. It can be a website, or it can be a mobile app, or any set of chat apps that's existing that supports the business interaction. It can also be a VR headset. And then comes the messaging layer. The message handling component takes care of formatting the incoming message in a way that it's easy for processing. And the session management takes care of tracking the ongoing conversation and maintaining the context. Third comes the NLP layer. The NLP layer extracts the intent out of the message and maps it to a corresponding business. If it's not able to manage, if it's not able to extract the intent, then it should ask subsequent questions to get the appropriate response. And then entity recognition here is this. Here it's about based on our sample. It's about the sum address, and it has a sentiment analysis component which understands the user's mood, and also based on that it can provide some recommendations. And context management is something that maintains the context of the conversation for multi-turn interactions, where the user is interacting with a chatbot within the same session or over multiple sessions. So the context has to be maintained by this component. Then comes the core AI layer. It has a dialogue management component. It manages the conversation flow, maintains context, and handle the dialogue states. And then the knowledge base integration. It can also be a RAG component. So knowledge base integration is the core business, knowing about the business, knowing about the manuals or the product catalog, everything about the business, right? So this knowledge base integration is the core engine of the chatbot that helps to give an appropriate business specific response. Then it comes an LLM. The LLM can be something which usually comes from the Llama 3 or from Vertex AI or OpenAI. We get the appropriate model, and we apply on top of that the knowledge base integration, so that the knowledge base integration makes this chatbot give the business specific responses. And then comes the core layer. Core layer is the existing business logic or the existing infrastructure, and has the APIs and the integration layer. The core AI layer communicates with the core layer to drive the business, to drive the conversation. And say, for example, the sum addresses, it's asking for a specific user preferences. Those preferences are passed as a parameter, and a corresponding API call is made, and the response is sent back to the user. For that, the core layer is mostly an existing infrastructure. Then comes the response generation layer. So the response generation is a configurable one. It can be a static template based configuration. The out-of-box software solutions mostly offer a template-based response generation, where we can predict the kind of questions the user is going to ask, and a template response just fills in the details and sends it back to the chatbot. And the response can also be dynamic. So the dynamic responses component takes care of that, and personalization is a very important component. We have seen a lot of examples in the sample interaction. And then the multimedia responses. So the response may not be a textual response. It can be a graph, it can be a report, or it can be an image. So the multimedia responses component takes care of converting that intent, the next action, into a multimedia response, and sending it back to the user. One example of a multimedia response is the user requiring an invoice to be generated, and the chatbot can get the details from the end user and can provide a code to the user in a PDF format. And then comes the backend services layer. It has a data storage component. It stores the user data, conversation history, and all the other relevant information. The analytics and monitoring tracks the usage metrics, user interactions, performance data, something like how much time it takes for the chatbot to respond to a query from the user. Right, so we need to keep track of that, so that it's not the response provided to the user it's engaging and it's fast. And then comes the security, ensures the secure interactions, protects user data, and adheres to the privacy regulations. And throughout this entire stack, each and every layer has to be monitored and make sure that privacy and compliance are baked into each of these components wherever it's applicable. And compliance makes sure that the interactions are not generating responses that are like offending or offending a specific group of people, or it's like against law, or it's or making sure that it's sending back factually correct data. And And through analytics and monitoring, establish a feedback loop for the system to do the course correction needed and keep improving. With this, we complete the AI chatbot architecture discussion. Emerging trends. So we can also call it future trends, but there is no baseline. Some companies are ahead of the curve, ahead in the curve, and some are some are just started. So just trying to capture the trends that's happening in the AI-driven chatbots. Multimodality is something is being widely embraced. So on top of the text-based conversation, the chatbot can accept voice-based inputs and can also respond back in over voice, and can accept images or documents as input, and then can also give back. It can extract the data from that documents and can process it, extract the intent, and it can also give back the response in an image or document format. Gestures can be used for selections, and it can also the user help user to mark a certain uh, part of the interface and ask like what is this information, right? So that those kind of interactions is also possible. And spatial computing is something it's not just restricted to the VR headsets. It can also be used in a regular channels of chatbot interfaces. Say for example, a Walmart app can provide an interface for the user to upload the image of the room, and the user can pick a furniture and then see whether the furniture fits within that room and how it whether it's matching his expectation, without the customer going to the store in person. He can take that the purchasing experience to the next level. Multi-language support, advanced sentiment analysis, deeper integration with the CRM systems, so that comprehensive customer profiles and more personalized interactions are made possible. And deeply integrated experience is where the chatbot and the app which is hosting that chatbot are deeply integrated, wherein the user is either able to perform the entire business flow well within the chatbot interface, and or even if the user leaves that interface, goes out to make to say for example the size link that we discussed in the sample interaction, where a link to the shirt size is is shared on the chat thread, and the user checks the size and then comes back to the chatbot and expresses his choice. And now this can be a seamless experience. It can be made within the chat interface, or when the user leaves the chatbot and then makes a size selection outside of the chatbot. Even after that, when user comes back to the chatbot is able to get that context and continue that, instead of asking a question on what size the user wants to pick. In conclusion, we have seen how AI-driven chatbots are revolutionizing the marketing automation by providing intelligent, personalized, and efficient interaction with the customers. It helps to streamline the marketing operations and drive sales and conversions. It can also help improve the marketing strategies and a very superior customer interaction. Thank you for the opportunity, and I open the floor for question and answers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nagarajan, for your session. It was a great session. I loved that diagram that you brought with all the layers explaining. And because for me, every time that I think about chatbot, I always think about just click and drag and drop. I couldn't, realize how complex all this technology is. So I don't know if we have any question here, but one thing I would like to ask you, it's what is the difference between in-house development of AI chatbot versus out-of-box software solutions. How do you see that?
Great. Great question. So before that, I want to apologize. There's a lot of comments about the low volume of the audio. I didn't realize when I was recording it. Apologize for that. I hope it was better later on in the session.
Yeah, yeah, it was great.
So the question is about uh, building in-house chatbots versus buying the out-of-box solutions, software
Yes,
solutions for chatbots, right? So this is very domain specific. So chatbots, which the okay, there are two things how we want to say this. One is that how deep integration uh, we want to have with the current line of business what we have, right? So for example, I'm having a boutique, or I'm having uh, I'm running a showroom, car showroom, right? So, and based on that, how much of domain specific questions that's going to crop up and how I'm going to address that, that's going to decide whether the degree of customization I want, whether that can be done with an out of box solutions, which is to some extent allows us to make it customized, but there is a limitation for that. The second thing is about the existing infra. Say, for example, I'm the owner for one of the GM Motors a showroom, car showroom, right? So now I'm integrating with the GM systems, and if I want to get some uh, questions answered uh, by pulling by integrating with their database, then um, then it helps for me uh, to for then it then okay then the chatbot is now having the intelligence to scan through this entire database, the treasure trove of information, and it can even access all the Q&As which were asked in the past and the latest improvements. This data will automatically flow into this AI chatbot, and it can be a much better response. Say, for example, a specific customer is reaching out, and now the system has is already having the data for the specific customer, his past history, his service history, or his purchase history, and the kind of questions he has, his preferences. Everything is stored in a database, and now the AI chatbot is able to understand that and then respond more appropriately, more human-like interaction. So that's the difference. So what is that we want is that going to decide whether we can go with an out-of-box solution or AI chatbots.
Oh, amazing, amazing. I think all of us here who, we are used to operate with in-house solution, I think, or at least I think who all our community, I think we are used to, and we like, to have our own data. So thank you. And I have another question before, because I like how chatbots we can simulate like a human interface, because it's different when we compare to email. Because email, there are so many elements, designing elements, width, your email width, and chatbot, all those, narrow interface. Somehow we are not expecting much, just text based, while email, usually users, they are expecting, images and more interactions. And so it's easier to create human experiences using those narrow, interface. So yeah, it's amazing. But one point I would like to ask you, it's also uh, because now with AI, it's some kind of, I would say, black box, because we don't know exactly, as soon as we feed our knowledge base into LLMs, what kind of response we're gonna get, and then based on that, what are, in your opinion, the risks in migrating to AI-driven chatbots?
Yeah, this is a topic that is uh, becoming more and more important as the awareness about the AI based solutions, the initial hype around it of migrating to AI, and then now there is a realization that there are all risks associated with AI migration. Um, uh, uh, One of the things is compliance and having some sensitivity to the uh, to sensitivity and of avoiding biases. So now
Mhm.
what happens, the AI is in an automation mode, right? So we need to make sure the compliance is important. Like it doesn't should not it should comply with the privacy and security of the user data. That goes without saying, like GDPR and EU AI. It should make sure that it is compliant to that. Our solutions are compliant to it and tested properly before rolling it out. That's one. And the other one is like when generative AI is generating, when it generates an answer, it is pulling it from a pool of data, right? So, or it may be even browsing the internet to get some data, and sometimes it's pulling data from a source that could be offending. And recently, Gemini AI came across some of the criticism of be uh, generating content that is racially inappropriate, right? And then they have to fix it, and then they actually pulled down for a few days, and then they relaunched it. uh, so those things are a big risk, and we don't want to get into that. We don't want our business uh, to get into that, the other side of things. And it's better to show a response saying that, hey, the question you asked, and I don't have the resource to answer this specific question, and we will follow up with you over email later on, is a better response than AI hallucinating something and then providing a data which is not a fact.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I think chatbots, they have the real potential, because when I started with marketing automation and Mautic, my goal was to leave that idea that with marketing automation we can deliver the right content to the right person at the right time. But it's so complex. It seems easy, but it's not easy when you are doing your marketing strategy, when you are dealing with multiple channels. And with chatbots, somehow, in a narrow interface, it's kind of, you can do that better than when you are operating multi-channel with websites and emails and social media campaigns. In a small screen, you can, as soon as like you said, you can load all your knowledge base and things like that, also following, like you said, compliance stuff. So yeah, amazing. I hope our audience enjoyed your session. I enjoyed, and also I have a lot of homework to do with our your slides. So thank you very much, Nagarajan. We will return. My next session will be in 20 minutes with Eki, and Eki, he will explore all potential with Mautic plugins. So I hope I can see you, all of you, in 90 minutes in another session. Thank you, Nagarajan, and see,
Thank you.
see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.